Hi, and welcome to English-Fabule. Are you learning English? Great. Let's learn English with a very interesting story. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment. Let's get started.
Narendra Modi is a very important politician in India. He has been the Prime Minister for 3 terms, starting in 2014. This makes him one of the longest-serving leaders from outside the famous Indian National Congress Party. His journey is a special one. He came from a simple background and rose to the most powerful job in the country. This book tells his story. Modi is a leader from the Bharatiya Janata Party, which is also called the BJP. His political ideas were shaped early in his life by a group called the Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangh, or RSS. The RSS is a large Hindu nationalist volunteer organization. It taught him discipline and gave him a strong sense of national pride. These ideas are a big part of his leadership today. As a leader, Modi makes 2 big promises: development and national pride. He talks about building a modern India with better roads, new technology, and more business. Many of his supporters admire his focus on making the country economically strong. They also like his assertive foreign policy, which means he is confident when dealing with other countries. People see him as a decisive leader. However, not everyone agrees with his methods. Some critics have questions about his government. They worry about the rights of minority groups and the freedom of the press. His story has both celebration and controversy. 2. A boy from Gujarat. Narendra Modi was born on September 17, 1950. His home was in the small town of Vadnagar in the state of Gujarat. He was the 3rd of 6 children born to Damodar Das and Hiraban Modi. His family did not have a lot of money. As a young boy, he often helped his father at their family's tea stall. The tea stall was located at the town's railway station. This early experience of working and meeting different people became an important part of his life story. In school, Modi was an average student with his grades. But he had other skills. He was known for being a very good debater. He liked to speak in public and was not shy. He also enjoyed acting in school plays, often choosing strong and dramatic roles. These activities helped him become a confident and powerful speaker later in his life. A very important influence came to him at a young age. When he was only 8 years old, he joined the Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangh, or RSS. This is a Hindu nationalist volunteer group. At the RSS, he learned about discipline, organization, and a strong sense of national pride. This group's ideas became a core part of his thinking. When he was a teenager, his family arranged a marriage for him. This was a common custom in his community. But soon after the marriage ceremony, Modi made a life-changing decision. He left his home and his new wife. He did not want a traditional family life. Instead, he wanted to travel and learn more about India. For about 2 years, he journeyed across the country. He visited different spiritual centers and ashrams. The teachings of a famous Indian monk, Swami Vivekananda, were very important to him. Vivekananda's ideas about service and national renewal deeply influenced him. After his travels, he returned to Gujarat with new ideas for his future. 3. A young leader. After his early travels, Narendra Modi made a big decision. He started to work full-time for the Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangh, RSS. He became a pracharak, which is a full-time worker. This meant he gave all his time to the organization. His first real political experience came in 1971 when he joined a protest in Delhi. This was the beginning of his life in politics. A very important period for Modi was the emergency from 1975 to 1977. The Indian government at the time, led by Prime Minister Indira Gandhi, banned groups like the RSS. Many political opponents were put in jail. Modi had to work in secret. To avoid arrest, he sometimes wore a disguise. He helped print and give out pamphlets that were against the government. He also found safe houses for other activists to hide in and helped raise money to support them. This dangerous experience taught him a lot about organizing and leadership. He later wrote a book in the Gujarati language about these struggles. When the emergency ended in 1977, Modi went back to his work for the RSS. He became an important organizer in cities like Surat and Vadodara. Then, in 1985, the RSS asked him to join a political party, the Bharatiya Janata Party, BJP. This was the start of his career as a politician in a major party. He quickly showed that he was a great strategist. In 1987, he helped the BJP win an important local election in the city of Ahmedabad. This success earned him a more senior job in the party for the state of Gujarat. During the late 1980s and early 1990s, Modi's reputation as a skilled organizer grew. He was excellent at planning big events. He helped plan two famous political journeys called yatras that traveled across the country. In 1990, he helped with L.K. Advani's Ram Rath Yatra. The next year, he helped organize Murli Manohar Joshi's Ekta Yatra. These long journeys were very important for the BJP. They helped the party become more popular across India. Modi's work behind the scenes was a key part of this success and helped him become a more powerful leader within the party. 4. Leading Gujarat. In 2001, Narendra Modi became the Chief Minister of Gujarat. The BJP, his party, chose him for the job. The government in Gujarat had some problems, and the party leaders in Delhi wanted a new leader. Modi had never been a chief minister or held a big government job before. He took the position in October 2001. His first task was to make the government stable and get ready for the next state election. A few months later, in February 2002, a very difficult and sad event happened. A train carrying Hindu travelers caught fire near a town called Godhra. About 60 people died. The next day, there was a lot of violence across Gujarat. In the riots that followed, many people were killed. Most of the people who died were Muslims. This period of violence is a very controversial part of Modi's time as leader of Gujarat. His government put curfews in place and called the army to help stop the riots. But many people and groups said the government did not act fast enough or do enough to protect people, especially Muslims. For many years after the violence, there were legal investigations. The big question was about Modi's role. Did he do enough to stop the killing? India's Supreme Court created a Special Investigation Team, or SIT, to find answers. In 2010, this team questioned Modi for many hours. 2 years later, in 2012, the SIT said it did not find enough evidence to charge Modi with any crime. The courts accepted this report. Years later, in 2022, the Supreme Court again looked at the case and agreed with the earlier decision. This closed the legal cases against him. His supporters said this proved he was innocent. His critics were not convinced and still had questions. After the violence in 2002, an election was held in December. Modi's campaign talked a lot about Gujarati Asmita, which means Gujarati pride. The BJP won the election with a very large number of votes. Modi continued as chief minister. He won again in 2007 and for a fourth time in 2012. In his later campaigns, he focused more on development and making the state safe. As chief minister, Modi's main focus was economic growth. He wanted to make Gujarat the best state for business in India. His government made it easier for companies to get permissions and buy land for factories. This was called improving the ease of doing business. He started big events called Vibrant Gujarat Summits. At these events, business leaders from all over India and the world came to invest money in the state. One famous example was when the car company Tata Motors moved its factory for the nano car to Gujarat. Modi's government also worked on other areas. In farming, it helped save groundwater and grow more crops, like cotton. The state's farms did very well. Another important change was in electricity. A program called Jyotigram Yojana gave villages power all day and night. It also gave farmers electricity for their water pumps at set times. This helped both homes and farms get a better electricity supply. But the record on social issues was mixed. While the economy grew, areas like health and education did not improve as quickly. Some reports showed that things like child nutrition were a problem. The government spent less money on health and education than many other states. Some critics said that Modi's policies helped big businesses and rich farmers more than small farmers and poor people. They also said that some groups, like Muslims and Dalits, were left behind. Supporters argued that a strong economy would eventually help everyone. Modi's long time as leader of Gujarat was defined by this focus on business and economic development. 5. The road to Delhi. After more than 10 years as the leader of Gujarat, Narendra Modi looked towards Delhi, the capital of India. In 2014, the country had a big national election. The BJP chose Modi to be its candidate for prime minister. This was a very important moment for him and the party. His campaign was about change and hope. He talked about problems with the old government. He promised to bring development, create new jobs for young people, and provide good governance. He wanted to make it easier for businesses to grow. His simple message was that better days were coming for India. Many people liked this promise of a strong and honest government. The campaign was very big and modern. Modi's team used new technology to reach millions of voters. They used social media like Twitter to share ideas directly with people. They also used something very new for Indian politics: 3D holograms. This technology showed a 3D image of Modi giving a speech. It meant he could appear at rallies in many different places at the same time. The campaign was very focused on Modi as a strong leader. This plan was a great success. In May 2014, the BJP won the election with a large majority. They won 282 seats in the Lok Sabha, the Indian Parliament. It was the first time a single party had won so many seats since 1984. This big win showed that many voters wanted a new direction for the country. Narendra Modi became the 14th Prime Minister of India. He was also the first Prime Minister to be born after India became an independent country. A new chapter in India's political history was starting. 6. Working for India. When Narendra Modi became the Prime Minister in 2014, he started to make big changes. He wanted the central government to be strong and to work fast. Many important decisions were made in the Prime Minister's office. This showed that power was becoming more central. His government also changed the Planning Commission, a very old part of the government. It was replaced by a new group called the Niti Aayog. This new group's job was to give ideas and advice to the government on how to help the country grow. One of the biggest surprises of his first term was in November 2016. Modi announced that the 500 and 1,000 rupee notes were no longer legal money. This was called demonetization. The government said this would help fight illegal or black money. People had to go to the bank to change their old notes for new ones. This decision caused many problems. There was a shortage of cash, and people had to wait in very long lines at banks. The economy slowed down for a short time. But the use of digital payments online grew a lot after this. Another big economic change was the Goods and Services Tax, or GST. Before 2017, India had many different kinds of taxes in different states. This made it hard for businesses. The GST created one single tax for the whole country. When it first started, it was difficult for many small businesses to understand the new system. But over time, it made paying taxes simpler for many companies. It was a major reform of India's tax system. Modi also started important social programs for the people. One of the most famous was the Swachh Bharat Mission, or Clean India Mission. The goal was to make the country cleaner. A very big part of this mission was to build toilets in villages and towns. Millions of toilets were built all over India. The program wanted to stop open defecation, which is when people go to the toilet outside. This was important for health and safety, especially for women and children. The World Health Organization said that the program helped save many lives. Another important program was the Ujjwala scheme. This plan gave cooking gas connections to poor families, especially in villages. Before this, many women cooked using wood or coal. The smoke from these fuels is very bad for their health. The Ujjwala program helped millions of women get cleaner and safer fuel for their kitchens. These social programs helped Modi become very popular with many people across the country. As Prime Minister, Modi was also very active in foreign policy. He traveled to many countries and met with leaders from all over the world, like the leaders of the United States, Russia, and China. He wanted to build stronger relationships and bring more business to India. He also focused on national security. In 2016, after a terrorist attack on an army base in Uri, the Indian government announced that its soldiers had carried out surgical strikes. They said soldiers crossed the line of control in Kashmir to attack terrorist camps. The government in Pakistan said the strikes did not happen as India described. This event made the relationship between India and Pakistan more tense. 7. Big changes for the country. In 2019, Narendra Modi and his party, the BJP, won the national election again. Their victory was even bigger than the one in 2014. The BJP won 303 seats on its own, which gave the government a strong majority in parliament. This meant it was easier for them to make new laws and important decisions. Soon after the election, the government made a major change in the state of Jammu and Kashmir. For many years, this state had special powers under a rule called Article 370 of the Constitution. The government removed this special status. It also divided the state into two new areas called Union Territories, Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh. To control the situation, the government sent more soldiers to the region. Phone and internet services were stopped for many months. The government said these changes would bring development and peace. But critics were worried about the rights of the people there. Later that year, Parliament passed a new law called the Citizenship Amendment Act. This law created a faster way for religious minorities from Pakistan, Bangladesh, and Afghanistan to get Indian citizenship. However, the law did not include Muslims. This caused large protests all across India. Many people felt that using religion for citizenship was against India's secular ideas. The government said the law was to help people who were treated badly in those countries. In 2020, the government introduced 3 new laws for agriculture. It said the laws would help farmers get better prices for their crops. But many farmers' groups disagreed. They were afraid the laws would help big companies and hurt small farmers. Thousands of farmers from states like Punjab and Haryana came to Delhi to protest. They camped on the roads for over a year. In the end, the government listened to the protesters and decided to take back the 3 laws. This period was also very difficult because of the COVID-19 pandemic. India had a strict lockdown to stop the virus, which was hard for many people, especially migrant workers. In 2021, a second wave of the virus was very bad, and many people got sick. The country started one of the world's largest vaccination programs. During this time, new problems also started with China. There were serious fights between Indian and Chinese soldiers at the border in Ladakh. This made the relationship between the 2 powerful countries very tense. 8. The story continues. Narendra Modi's political journey is very important. He has a strong leadership style and a clear public image. He brought many big changes to India, and people have different opinions about his work. In 2024, he became Prime Minister for the 3rd time. Now he does not lead the government alone, but with other political parties in a coalition. His story is not finished, and his decisions continue to shape the country. What part of Narendra Modi's story do you find most interesting, and why?
Hey there! Just a second before you go. If you learned something new today, please give this video a like, write your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe to the channel. It only takes a second, and it really, really helps to create even better English videos for you. Your support means the world. Thank you.